Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. All right, you guys, you already know what I'm going to talk about first. It is Roxy Reads Book Club. We had our first live last Saturday, and thank you to everybody who participated. Thank you to everybody who is supporting. Anybody out there who might be interested in supporting and joining our book club, it is on Patreon. I will leave the link. This link here will also be live down in the description box, and you can just click on that and you can join. $2 a month and you are in. All right, rock stars. So first story up, let's talk about y'all. Oh, I'm not supposed to be calling him that. I'm sorry. Let's talk about YSAP, his newest. We get through the impeachment trial and everything, and he's right on back to his fuck shit. So now he's talking about getting rid of the student loan forgiveness program, a program that's put in place by George W. Bush back in 2007, in part to entice people to join the program by having some forgiveness on their loan if they work at a like a public sector, a government job, a state job, a federal job, even local government, some teachers, firefighters, police officers, and military. Okay, they have a program where their loan is forgiven if they give, their time and their services to those positions. Now, YSAP is talking about getting rid of this program. They're saying him and DeVos, they want to cut $5.6 billion to the U.S. Education Department. They're saying that will, that it will help out the tremendous debt that that our nation faces when it comes to student loans. I know one thing, Bernie Sanders says that if he's elected president, that he will get rid of all student loans. He will forgive every single student loan. It don't matter where you work, okay? We gonna get a clean slate, and honey, that is enough. Honestly, that's enough for me. That he might get my vote just on that alone. But yeah, that this is not his first time. This is not YSAP's first time talking about eliminating this student loan forgiveness. He has included it in his budget proposal, and Congress is going to have to either, support it or deny it. So right now it's just the talk and it's out there, but no word either way has been spoken whether or not, the student loan forgiveness program will be done away with. But boy, I sure hope that is not done away with. I surely hope that is not done away with. That program, if you guys aren't familiar with it, is if you work for those agencies that I just told you about, as long as you make 120 payments on time, okay, and that works out to be 10 years. As long as you make those payments, then after your 10 years, then the whole thing is scrapped, okay? And no matter how much you've already spent on it, if you have a huge amount left over, they get rid of that whole thing. So it's a really good program for those who may have gone to school, got their degree, and then didn't necessarily make the money that they thought that they were going to make with that degree, and they're faced with this huge student loan in front of them. That student loan forgiveness program, if you do work for like I said, the public sector and some public safety, and even some nonprofit, 501c3 businesses, then you would benefit from that. So we're going to keep our eye on this one, you guys. I'm sure there's plenty of you guys out there who are affected directly by student loans, such as myself and my children. So yeah, you guys we gonna keep our eye on it. But Bernie Sanders, y'all, he looking better and better every day. Jussie Smollett. He kept our 2019 jumping, didn't he? With all of that story about him being attacked in Chicago by Trump country, okay, on one of the coldest days on record out in Chicago when they were experiencing the polar vortex, when your boy decided to walk to Subway get him a sandwich 2 a.m. in the morning and was accosted, he said, by guys wearing MAGA hats. Okay, them threatening him, roughing him up, putting a noose around his neck, throwing bleach on him. You guys remember the story? Anyway, you guys know he was arrested back then. He was charged some 16 counts, some 16 felony counts. Everybody felt like he was overcharged. The story was all salacious and, National Enquirer worthy type of tabloid news. But the bottom line is, Chicago was coming after Jussie Smollett because they believed that he lied, especially when the two African brothers had turned themselves in and said that he had paid them to do this whole thing. All right. So once he was arrested and all those charges, there was all this mess going on because Jussie Smollett's family was good friends with the state prosecutor. And the state prosecutor, or I don't know if I'd say good friends, but they had a relationship some kind of way. It could have been professionally even, but they had a relationship. She wanted to kind of go easy on him. They felt like they were overcharged to begin, that they had overcharged him to begin with, that they weren't going to be able to get all of these charges to stick. They decided to drop the whole thing, unbeknownst to Chicago Police Department. Okay, Chicago PD was pissed that they dropped it because they knew that they had a story and that he, as far as they were concerned, was guilty. Their problem was that they let out way too much information to the public. The public was so involved in the case that it had almost got to the point where who knew if Jussie Smollett was even going to be able to get a fair trial because we were all so involved and nothing legally had been put out there yet. So Chicago Police Department kind of shot their own selves in their foot by pretty much giving their whole case as a press conference right after Jussie Smollett had been arrested. It was just a chaotic scene. It was so much mess going on behind it. Finally, the state prosecutor was like, "We dropping the whole thing." Okay. Chicago was pissed. They wanted to come after Jussie Smollett in a civil suit because they said that they spent like $130,000 in police overtime and just manned hours out there working on this case. And now that they've dropped it, who gonna pay this bill? So now they suing Jussie Smollett. Okay, so we knew about that going on, but as far as everything else, I pretty much thought we were done. Now, yesterday, it came across my computer that there was a special prosecutor assigned to the case, Dan Webb, and he indicted Jussie Smollett again yesterday. And that was for the original crime of him false reporting this attack in Chicago. He also faced some counts of disorderly conduct and, all of these things that's going down. But yeah, the special prosecutor was like, oh no, we definitely are going to press these charges. And as of right now, we don't really know anything else other than he has to be in court on February 24th. Okay, man, I tell you, whenever you think about this case, and you think about, Jussie was not no huge star, but everybody knew who he was. Everybody liked him. He was likable. He was on Empire, which was a successful show at the time. It was like, I know there's still people out there that don't believe that he's guilty. Okay. And that's fine. You definitely have that right to believe that. But I just was like, I just don't understand. I believe that he's guilty. Okay. And for the life of me, I just will never understand why he did that to himself and his career. And, because of that, I feel like his sister has even been dragged into that. Like, you don't never see Journey anymore. Like, never. I kind of feel like she's even having to pay for, the sins of her brother. So it's a mess. Now, of course, Jussie Smollett's, his lawyer is still sticking to the same story that, he always told the truth, that the police department is there was an inferior investigation. The guys that actually investigated the original time, and when that shit was thrown out, now they're involved in this second indictment, and they feel like those people shouldn't even be involved because it was tarnished from the first case. And, so of course his lawyers is going to fight back, but it is just such a bad look. I don't know when Jussie will be able to recover his career. It won't be no time soon. And that is really unfortunate, okay, for a kid who was on a good track. Okay, and I always say kid, but I always just say kid when I feel like they're like at least 20 years younger than me. But for a young man who was he's not even young, he's grown. He's in his 30s, right? Okay, for somebody who was doing well, and steadily going, and people did respect him. It's just like, you just did your own self in. But yeah, you guys, he's going to be arraigned on the 24th of February, and I for sure know that the reporters will be there, and I will, as soon as I know, you'll know. All right, you guys, next story up. This story with Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union, I haven't really spoken about it because Dwyane Wade has a young son who now wants to be known as a girl. He's 12 years old, and has told his parents that he wants to now go as a she, and that she wanted to be called Zaya or Zaya, however you pronounce it. And listen, that's fine. I'm not here to be trying to parent nobody else's kids. However you decide to parent your children in your household, if that's what it is, if this child has identifies with being a woman and that's how he wants to be, she wants to be addressed, I don't have a problem with that. Okay. I just don't really like Dwyane Wade or Gabrielle Union. I just don't really like them. And so I get tired of hearing about them talking about that, only because it just feels exploitative to me. And that's just kind of my personal feelings. But then I have to remember to myself, Roxanne, Dwyane Wade is not just an average guy, okay? And neither is his wife. They are in the spotlight. They are celebrities. Their children would probably be seen, and people would be speculating on exactly what's going on with their child. So maybe that is the reason why they decide to come out and really make it a point to put it out there that their 12-year-old child is a part of the LGBTQ community and has now decided to go as a girl. Maybe that's the reason why it feels like it's exploitative to me, but it's not. It's just that they're already just kind of addressing the elephant in the room, right? So then I try to talk to myself like that, but something deep down inside me just goes, I'm sure there are other celebrities who have children who may be going through these very same issues, that it's not plastered all over, the entertainment talk shows, and, it's not in the blogs, and it's not, because I feel like as a 12-year-old child, this child should be able to be a child, whether or not they identify as a boy or a girl. Like, even if my children, when you have your own children, you're not getting on social media and letting everybody know when your child had a wet dream, or you don't get on there and tell all of their business when it comes to sexual identity. Well, see, then I know somebody's going to get in here and say, Roxanne, but that has nothing to do with sex, because this is just how he identifies or how she identifies. It's not their sexual. See, it's so confusing. It's so confusing. And that's one of the reasons why I've even avoided this topic, because I will be the first to admit that I am not the professional on all things transgender and, non-binary and binary and all of those terms that goes along with it. It confuses me. So instead of me getting on here and saying something stupid and then everybody getting mad at me, and saying that I'm, sounding ignorant, I have just chosen to really avoid it. But I just feel like the bottom line is, I feel like your children should be able to be children away from the celebrity of their parents. Okay, I shouldn't have to be, as a child, while I'm still trying to figure it out, because this kid is still trying to figure it out. I don't give a damn if she knows that she wants to now be known as a girl. She's still figuring, she's 12. She's 12 or 12 or 13. Like, she's still got some molding to go through before she even gets to a point, so it's just sort of like, let this child do this without the added pressure of social media always on it. Okay, yes, I'm sure Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union, okay, love their child, or it's Dwyane Wade's child with Siobhan. It's not Gabrielle's child at all, just she's a stepmother, but she's raised them, so that's fine. I'm sure that they love him. I don't want to have to be like, oh, he's just so, Dwyane Wade is so special. And so, Gabrielle Union, they just, I'm not here for them kind of stories. Like, I'm not fixing to big you up because you've accepted your child's sexual identity. They want to be known as a she or a he. Okay, because it really is way more people. It's a lot of people out there that are faced with this very same situation who also have to accept their child making that decision, So that's why, I don't know, because I didn't say it a lot. I'm not even sure if I explained why I feel like it's exploitative. But I guess that last part that I said is what makes me feel like it. Because are you doing this so that we can all say, oh my God, you are such great parents? Okay, or are you addressing the elephant in the room? What do you guys think? Do you see what I'm saying, though? Let this kid try to figure it out. And I would feel that way really for any of these kids. Let them kids try to figure it out, and you're not plastering them across every story. Every time you look up, they're out there talking about it. I don't know which is the right way or the best way to think about it. So maybe you guys can weigh in and let me know if any of that I just said made sense and what you feel about that as well. All right, you guys. So the baby, y'all know I love the baby. And I've seen him. He's been in the news quite a bit, arrested a couple of times for, some shit that didn't went down, him not getting paid for concerts, and him getting into some sort of confrontation with the officers. And then we just saw recently he almost had to beat a guy's ass at the hotel who was trying to take video of his daughter, who he's very protective of. But for the most part, I've liked the baby. I feel like he's a well-spoken, I can call him a kid because he is. He's a well-spoken kid. I love his music. I think he's a fun guy. He seems like he's nice and cool and loves his fans and things like that. So he's an artist that I like. Yesterday, I actually didn't see the story until I saw his response, which he called a non-response, but it was a response to some social media IG type of a post that his baby mother, I think her name is Mimi, had posted. So I hadn't seen hers yet. So let me just tell you, when I saw his, he was talking about, because it was an 8-minute non-response, okay? He was talking about how, I guess there was a girl who had come out and said that he was the father of their baby coming, but he was not going to talk about it because he's fiercely protective of his daughter, and she's a princess, and she's gonna, become a queen one day, and he's never gonna want to put his child out there to, for people to, basically be all in her life and all in her business. He wouldn't want her to look back and see all of this shit that's gone on in the internet, even when she was a baby. Like, he wasn't gonna respond, okay? But that is in and of itself wasn't a response, right? So I was like, well, what happened exactly? Okay, that's when I started trying to look back onto Shade Room, and I saw that the baby mother, Mimi, had posted a bunch of messages saying that Well, actually posted a text message and a video. She's saying in the video, she's fussing with the baby, and she's saying, or should I say Kirk, and she's saying that, you police your baby's mother. Like, I'm gonna let everybody know how you be policing your baby's mother. But she also posted a text message of an exchange of the baby with having a conversation with this other girl, trying to hook up with this other girl. He was in some other place. So somehow she must have gotten into his messages, found out that he was seeing some girl, he said, and I guess behind the scenes, that girl and the baby mom and the baby and everybody now knows that that girl is pregnant. So the baby mom was saying how, basically that the baby is a liar. He's the biggest liar out there. He's one way on social media and, another way totally. She realizes, that she's going to always have respect for herself, and, she's still a God-fearing woman, and she knows better and all of that. Okay. So after she had then posted that, and then he had posted his response video, then he came out with another non-response video, and he just wanted to reiterate that, yes, there is a girl that's having his baby, but he was not with his baby mother, Mimi, at the time that he got this girl pregnant. Now, we have heard that story 100 times, okay? It very well could be true. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, everybody has confirmed that they weren't together at the time that the girl got pregnant. However, the way the baby mother was trying to make it seemed like maybe he was trying to keep this baby mama under wraps, the second girl, because he ain't married to none of them. But it seems like he was trying to keep that second one under wraps, and then she found out about it, So it was kind of sad for me, because you don't see too many rap artists who are involved with somebody and really kind of have like a little family and still be out there and being successful. They like to peg these rappers as single so that, a bunch of single women will be attracted to him, but it don't even really matter. I mean, he could be married and, girls are still going to be attracted to him. But it was nice to see that he seemed to be somewhat of a family man. Made sure he took care of his baby mother, their little girl, plus the baby mother had, I believe, an older little boy that he also claimed as his own, even though it wasn't his kid, So it was like nice to see. I mean, just a week or two ago, she was rubbing his feet on the plane, okay? And so I was just like, oh, they're a nice, cute little couple. I hope they can make it. And now we got this. I'm not sure if they broke up, but, I'd be willing to bet that it's put a strain on the relationship. And then it's too bad that you have to be in social media and, because you're a celebrity, people have access to what is going on in your life, and everybody talks about it. And, that adds even more stress to an already stressed out relationship. So it's bad times right now for Mr. Kirk and his girlfriend, Mimi. But he seems to be, he's fully accepted that is his child coming. So at least we do know there's another one coming. It's not with the baby mama. I guess we can just move on from there. But I was like, dang, the baby? Why you had to do that? All right, you guys, so the private funeral services were held for Kobe Bryant and Gianna Bryant on February 7th. It was just for close family and friends, which I had figured that they were going to, hold a private ceremony for the family so they could get that part settled. It's still it's just still such a sad story. It's just horrible. Such a tragedy. And even still, when I think about it, I just be so bummed out. Now, they are having the public memorial service at the Staples Center on February 24th. All right. They picked that date because Kobe's number for both high school and most of his career with the Lakers was number 24. Remember, he was 8 when he first started, and then he changed it over to 24. People were upset that they didn't have the Coliseum, that I believe had like 45,000 seats, or a Dodger Stadium, which is somewhere around 75,000 seats. I'm just thinking to myself, look, you're going to take these 21,000 seats that's at Staples Center, and you're going to have to be fine with that. You know, we didn't have to do that, even though I'm sure they were going to do something like that. But, you know, people just can't be always be satisfied. Of course, they would have it at the Staples Center because that is the house that Kobe built. It just makes sense to have it there. So, yes, there will be a lot of people that won't be able to attend the ceremony. But I'm sure they will all be outside of the building. Okay, and for those of us who aren't even in California, we will be there in spirit as we watch it on TV. All right, and that's just gonna have to be that on that, you know. So, yeah, just letting you guys know the memorial service is on the 24th. There will be more information to come to follow, but if you are out that way and you want to go, maybe you can try to get there for the service. But still, so sad. So the girl Janet Jackson, turns out that she's about to have a very big year this year, you guys. She is going to be on a world tour, and she is dropping an album. The world tour is actually named after the album that's going to be coming soon. They haven't had a release date for that, but the world tour is called Black Diamond. And Janet Jackson said on her her social media that, you know, she kind of fancies herself as a black diamond. You know, she's been through a lot, okay, but she still shines through and through, rough a little bit around the edges, but okay, she sparkles even under the most severe of pressure. And she's got this tour going. It's going to be starting actually pretty soon. They're going to be selling tickets on livenation.com. That starts, well, tomorrow, because this is Wednesday that I'm recording this, but actually it'll be today because you guys are probably watching this on Thursday. Today at 12 p.m. livenation.com will be selling the tickets for her tour. And yeah, I'm sure the Janet Jackson fan out there, you know who you are. You guys should be excited. But Janet Jackson has been pretty busy because she was just on tour just a year or two ago before, right? So good for her. I'm kind of cool on the Janet Jackson album. I mean, I ain't really got to hear no new Janet Jackson, but I would love to go to the concert. I don't know if I will, but this one coming up is supposed to be special because it is the anniversary. I think the 30th anniversary for Rhythm Nation. Can you guys believe that song is fucking 30 years old? I was just like, I remember when we was all wearing the big hoop and the key and the hat and the all black and all. I mean, I remember like it was yesterday. Such an iconic song, an iconic time, even for fashion. I mean, it just reminds you so much of that time, that song. Yes, 30 years old, you guys. So she's going to have actually a special performance of that song in her concert. So, the whole thing that we know, the whole routine that we know is going to be changed in this case. But, yeah, that's good. Now, some dates to look out for. She's going to be here June 29th. She'll be here in Atlanta for my Atlanta Rock Stars. She will be in Philadelphia. Kevin, I know he's an extreme fan. She'll be there on July 9th. She will be in Houston, Charisma. Okay, because I know you going. If you ain't already got a ticket on a pre-sale, she'll be there August 5th. And for my LA Rock Stars, she will be there on August 12th. Those are just some dates, but she actually has a bunch of dates that's already posted. So you guys get on there and just check out and see when she's coming to your city. Those are the cities where I know she's got some huge fans. So y'all, if you ain't got your pocketbook ready, get it ready because Janet Jackson is coming to your city soon. Why, for the life of me, are we still discussing whether or not Lonnie Love got Tamar Braxton fired? Listen, at this point, the story has been out there so many times that I believe it. I believe that Lonnie Love didn't come right out and say, you guys should fire Tamar Braxton. But I believe that Lonnie Love may have had some issue with Tamar and was planting seeds as she went along to try to get the network or the producers or whoever to be like, okay, yeah, maybe she's right. Okay, I do believe the story, but who cares at this point? It's been how many years has Tamar been off of that show? But there's a comic that's that's done an interview who's talking about it. Somebody sent me the video the other day, and I actually saw the video, and the video seems believable. The girl seems believable, okay? And just explained that, you know, she was on the circuit with Lonnie Love back in the day, and that Lonnie Love had showed them the email, or there was some letter that was written to the powers that be about Tamar, and just kind of, you know, just kind of hating from the sidelines. She was on Dancing with the Stars. She was missing a lot of the shows. She was this, she was that. You know, like I said, not coming out and saying you need to leave, you know, get rid of Tamar, but planting seeds. You know, people do that. There are people out there who will quietly stab you in the back, okay? And I don't even know if that was a stabbing in the back. It might have just been, you know, somebody who didn't like their coworker and wanted to get rid of them, you know? So I guess the whole talk is because Lonnie will continue to deny it, but she can deny it because she didn't come right out and say, I think that you should fire Tamar Braxton. Okay, if you don't have that written down somewhere, then I'm going to deny it too, because really I didn't say that. I just told you why, you know, I gave you reasons why you should, but I ain't never said that it needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yeah, okay, the cookie hub girl said that, you know, she did get her done. I'm just like, fine. I don't know if even does Tamar even still care? She probably does, though, you guys. Tamar is she's a different breed. But I just was like, I don't know why are we still talking about that? All right, you guys, love is in the air. Da 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 da. People are saying that the real Big Booty Judy and the Brat have gotten engaged. Now, when somebody left that in my comments for my suggestions for this video, I was so confused. I was like, who's the Brat? Like, my brain didn't even think about the Brat, like Functified the Brat. I'm thinking like one of these new kids with the baby and the this and the that. So I was thinking that it was like one of these new kids, only because I did not even know that Big Booty Judy was gay. I mean, I don't know why I would know that anyway or not, because I don't follow her at all. So, you know, she's not on my radar. But I mean, I've seen her around enough to, you know, I just didn't know the girl was gay. So when somebody said, oh, the Brat and Big Booty Judy got engaged, I was like, well, who is the Brat? So then I'm starting to Google and everything. And I said, oh, the Brat. Now, we knew that the Brat was gay. At least I knew. Okay, she's kept that pretty, you know, quiet and all, and that's fine, because you don't have to be displaying your sexuality for other people. But I thought that it was just like Queen Latifah, like we just all knew that was, you know, that she was gay. But they're saying that her and the Big Booty Judy have been, whose real name is Jessica. So let's just say Jessica, because I feel silly just saying the real Big Booty Judy. Her and Jessica have been in a relationship for some time. You know that Jessica evidently keeps her private life very private and off of social media, as she should. But she did post a picture of a ring, of her engagement ring, you know, that she said yes. And there is some blogger in New Orleans, I think his name is MC Shaky. And he's saying that they've been seeing them two together quite a bit. And even right after she posted that picture of that ring, the Brat and Jessica were seen out in a Mardi Gras parade. They were hosting or leading, or whatever you call it, a Mardi Gras parade. So because they were together right after she posted that picture, many people are assuming that she is now engaged to the Brat. Now, I had went on to her Instagram just to see if I saw anything else other than that picture, and she actually posted a little note saying that this is her real life. You know, people are trying to fight over getting the scoop on the story, but she's actually going to tell her whole story on her own social media. She will scoop her own self, basically, not all of these damn blogs. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. They say that the Brat actually posts pictures of Big Booty Judy more on her Instagram and social media than, you know, vice versa. But they're also saying that the Brat is she does sponsor, or she does, what's the word that I'm trying to say? You know, she does talk about her kaleidoscope hair drops. what is the word that I want? She does promo, I guess, for those drops. That's not the word that I want to say, but you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, you guys, I mean, if that's what it is, good for them. Hopefully, you know, that this will be a union that, you know, stands the test of time, you know, that they'll live and die old together. Congratulations to the happy couple, if it's true. They are also saying that Kenya and her husband, Mark, who had been estranged all this time, they're saying that they are making their way back to each other. They are trying to rekindle the love that was lost there, and trying to make a go of their marriage. And if they are, then congratulations and good for them too. Kenya has told a lot about that relationship, so I don't know how easy it's going to be for people to try to accept him back into the fold, you know, after, you know, he has betrayed Team Twirl's beloved Kenya. So let me ask Team Twirl, do you guys like Mark? Do you not like Mark? That's a question for Team Twirl out there. But, you know, I saw a video that she posted when it was snowing out here in Atlanta last weekend, and he was there with the baby, and they all seemed very happy. So, I mean, you know, I would hope that that works out for them. Guys, they're saying that Ava DuVernay is in talks to produce the Nipsey Hussle documentary. I believe he had a company that was actually working on it before he died. And then when he died, I believe Ava DuVernay and her company picked it up and carried it over the finish line. Now they are trying to find a home for it so that it will be out there for us all to see. Somebody posted, I think Shade Room had posted last week that a deal had been inked and that it was going to be on Netflix, but the family, Nipsey Hussle's family, came out and said, oh no, there's been no deal that's been made, okay, that this documentary is very important to them, their family, and no amount of money or anything else is going to rush this documentary out there. So as of now, they are still in negotiations. I guess Netflix is in the running, but there may be other places that they're talking about possibly having it done as well. I would assume maybe HBO, Netflix, and you know, these different streaming companies. But yeah, as of now, it's not nowhere. It doesn't have a home yet, so they are looking for it. Somebody asked me on my comments, did I think that Ava DuVernay would do a good job with it? And I believe that her documentary for the 13th Amendment, I thought that was excellent, very well done. I wasn't able to watch When They See Us, child. I tried. I looked at like 20 minutes of it. I was like, oh no, I know I can't watch this. And I got a young child too, you know, a young son too. No. It was already getting my dander up. So I was just like, yeah, this movie is just not for me. But it won all those awards, and so I have to assume that it was very good. Yeah, I think Ava DuVernay I think the documentary is in very well hands, and I believe that she's going to respect you know, the vision of the documentary and what the family wants. So I think it'll be fine, you guys. But yeah, that's it. Wow, that was a short top of the blog today, you guys, but that's it. All right, guys, that's it. Let me get on back to work. Okay, we do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back.